if we're talking about the distant history, then women needed marriage just like men, supposedly, right? But we might have needed it more because women didn't have any rights. We weren't able to live a regular life without being attached to some type of man. If you're thinking about specific times in history, you needed men. You couldn't even own property at one point unless you had a husband, right? And once your husband died, the next man in the family now had ownership over you. So according to history, women needed men more. Nowadays,
They don't need men
that has changed a little bit,
because of
right?
they make money,
Women are in positions where we can own things on our own. We
money.
are able to have, property. We're able to make money. We're able to do all of these things on our own. So I don't think it's really shifted where men necessarily need marriage. I think it's up to both parties now, which once again can be maybe a part of the problem. I don't know. But in history overall, I would say women needed marriage more in the past.
So, yeah, I think it switched back and forth because um, women needed men, bank accounts, land, whatever,
Duda,
all
you're
of
right.
that in this country. But in the inception of the country, I guess it just depended because women inherited their husband's land when they passed away, and then ended up needing men because they changed the laws because they didn't want the women to have that land. So like it kind of it flipped back and forth so much. And so nowadays I'm gonna say that it benefits men more than it does women
Not
now.
true.
So like
No. How?
it just depends on
How does marriage benefit men more if they have to pay all the bills? Now, if a man finds an Oprah and Oprah the billionaire finds Boogie and she takes care of me, then I'm going to benefit more. How does marriage benefit men more? How? Is she going to explain? Let me see if she's going to explain.
when. But yeah, both kind of
She didn't
it
explain
flip
it.
flop. But I think that it was more beneficial to men overall than it was ever to women.
How?
Yeah, my answer to that.
How does it benefit men more? Honestly, if there's a woman who's out here trying to marry a man and she's giving benefits to men in marriage, I'm all for it. I mean, men would literally be lining up. To me, in my opinion, two reasons men want to be married. Number one, consistent sex, because trying to date every now and then, you date this one, you take her on a date, it doesn't work out, you date this one, she ghosts you, you spend money on that one with that one. Because men, that's number one, consistent sex. Number two, actually three reasons. Number two is because men are suckers for love. Men, for some reason, I don't know what the Disney movies did to us. In the words of the great CGA, Coach Greg, he literally said, men are in love, women are in business. So men are suckers for love. They see a woman, oh my God, I'm so in love. Can I marry you? That's number two. Number two reason men get married. Number three, men get married because women ask them for marriage. Oh, if you don't marry me, I'm not going to have sex with you. If you don't marry me, sex after marriage. If you don't marry me, I don't want to be a single baby mama. That's the reason. Most men, I don't know if most, but so many men literally are pressured by women. You got to marry me. Oh my God, you're going to walk me down the aisle.
Go ahead, Emma.
Thank you, Brady. I work in the divorce industry. I work in family court. Men today have no need for women. In fact, women bring more problems, debt, stress, pain, and suffering to men
Wow.
than anything else, than any value.
Facts.
Maybe before, when a man got married, there was more value that he was getting from a woman, but he was getting her purity, her loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
her family,
Mm-hmm.
and things were different. But
Traditionally.
now men get married to women who aren't pure,
Facts.
who don't have any skills anymore. The majority of women don't even know how to make basic things at home.
They can't cook.
They don't know how to press clothes. They don't know how to do anything. So they're not really doing anything for men. Today, a man can do everything for himself,
Facts.
especially like washing clothes, whatever. But before, he needed a wife to wash the clothes, to
Facts.
cook, to press. Now, He can do all this stuff by himself because he has machines. We have machines that does everything.
Facts.
Women are almost useless in marriage today. And I say that only because of the type of women that I'm talking about. I see it every day in divorce. Men, when they get divorced, the women take all of their resources,
Facts.
all of their money in
Kids.
divorce. So I would say women need men more today
They take the key.
than before. Because now you see women, they get married, they pop out a kid or two, maybe even sometimes none. And when they get divorced, they take the man for all he has until the day she gets married again through
Facts.
child support, spousal support, any way that she can milk a man.
Cook. Let her cook.
So I'm seeing it a little bit differently. But yeah.
Okay.
Look at their faces. This one can't even look straight into the camera. Look at their faces. She cooked them. Let's see what they have to say. Oh my God. Everything they're going to call her pick me. Watch.
If I can just respond. So there's no statistic, I understand like our personal experiences, but there's no statistic that would support the fact that marriage benefits women more today.
What?
I would say that I would agree with Bo that it shifted, right? The initial reason for marriage benefited men and it benefited families, that the lineage ran through the patriarch, right? The man's last name, the man's lineage. That was the original design. It benefited him. It did not benefit her. No matter what we say, you sold your daughter so that you could secure. That was what the exchange was. As we progress and we're talking about flipping back and forth, and now we have the idea of the spinster and the old maid, the woman who couldn't get married and have kids. Yeah, it would benefit a woman in those times because now she would be shamed if she did not have an attachment to a man. And in certain cultures, she would be stoned, unalived, all the things if she was not attached to a man. It would benefit her from a safety perspective, right? Because she was required to have that man. In today's day and age, men report higher wages, longer life expectancy by being married.
Those
Right?
numbers don't work
When you
anymore.
think about presidents, none of them have ever been able to even try to attain the position without having a wife. Partners at quite a lot of law firms, right? When you think about positions that are high ranking, having a wife, having a sign of discipline, loyalty, security, consistency has always proven to be beneficial to a man. So when you're saying what benefit,
You know why? Because if a man is going to get a job because he's married and him being married shows consistency, do you know why it shows consistency? Because he's taking care of who? A woman and kids. So clearly they are benefiting from him. Most men would be okay working 40 hours a week for the rest of their lives. But guess what happens when they get married? Now they got to work 80 hours. Guess what happens when they get married? Part of their pension, their retirement plan is now including the woman as well. Guess who doesn't have to work 60 hours to provide for anybody else? The woman. And let's use some logic. Let's pretend that marriage has only benefited men, like she's saying that it has never benefited women, right? So now marriage rates are low, divorces are higher, women are getting more, divorcing men more, taking alimony and things like that. Where is society now? Is it better when people were getting married, or is it better when the single mother rate is now 70% compared to 30% in 1960? Which one is doing better? Like, just use some logic, common sense. Oh my God, these women.
benefits who more? On the flip side, conversely, when a woman tries to attain when she's married, people are factoring in, oh man, you may have a baby in the next 2 years, so we can't hire you for certain positions. If you even look into Dubai's culture, some women lie about being married because of the fact that if they're married and they're a certain age, it will be assumed that they will have a child in the next 5 years, they will not receive a job. So when you think about what we're actually benefiting, I mean, I guess, yeah, I got a man, my man. That's
Exactly. If you have a man who's working 80 hours providing for you, then what are you arguing about? These women are pretending like as if a man providing for them is an issue. So for me, when I hear them complaining, oh, men benefit from marriage only, and they don't benefit, they're only complaining about men maybe who don't want to pay bills or who want to go 50-50. This woman is not going to get married to Jeff Bezos and complain that her marrying Jeff Bezos benefits Jeff Bezos. Now, in her Delulu land, she may think that getting married to a rich man only benefits him and it doesn't benefit her, even if now she's going to go from working 40 hours to working 15 hours if she wants to. But for them to think marriage only benefits men. Okay, now when marriage stops benefiting men, how is the community faring? Do you like the rate of single mothers? Are we championing single mothers? That's the route to go? Because if you don't want to get married because it doesn't benefit you as women, is being a single mother the next best thing you can do? How is that working for you?
Benefit, but then when you're actually thinking about it structurally, generationally, not really. Like, let's take our personal feelings out of it and let's really think about it.
Okay. I can think of a stat that would support the idea that men have been less beneficial than women, and that would be family court. When you look at the idea that the one tangible thing that we know, right? And the family court doesn't think that anything else is important because they don't enforce anything else. All they enforce is the finances, and 97% of men have to pay alimony versus the 3% of women. So, and they disregard everything else. If I get divorced right now, I can't tell homegirl, hey, you still need to make me sandwiches. You still need to wash my clothes. You still need to, I can't do any of that. All of that shit is off the table, right? So nobody else thinks that's important or that beneficial to where you are still responsible for it. All of your duties are now relinquished, but whoever has to pay has to continue to pay. And I can tell you this, if it weren't for 97% of men paying it, then the family court system would be very different.
Facts.
Well, but wait, that's to assume the people who are actually that actually have the money to pay it. Like, that percentage comes from people who can pay it. Average men can't pay.
See, I
like
told
these
you.
large numbers, and they can't pay alimony at all whatsoever.
They pay child support.
Less than 10%.
Yeah, because average people, I'm an average person. I had to put my retirement, my everything, my accounts, my business was up for discussion. If my ex-husband didn't say I don't want anything, because we both of us had businesses. I didn't want his, he didn't want mine. But if he said he wanted something from my business, he could have had that.
Yeah,
because
but
I
he
built
didn't.
that business inside of my marriage.
But he did.
So average people do not pay. Like, both parties, the woman and the man, have to put everything on the table. So the percentage of men that you are talking about, that's the percentage of men with money. Everybody don't got money like y'all got money. These men,
So you see what I told you guys? When women are complaining about marriage is not beneficial to women anymore, what they really mean is marriage to the average guy. This is why I use the example of a Jeff Bezos. If this woman or this woman or this woman got married to Jeff Bezos, she wouldn't scream, it's not beneficial to me, it's only beneficial to Jeff Bezos. You know why? Because she's going to be on private jets. She has a chance of divorcing him and taking, $500 million, couple $2 billion from Amazon. So when you hear them scream, I don't want to get married, I hate marriage only benefits men, it's because they haven't found the rich man to get married to. That way, if they divorce him, they can take half his money. They know if they get married to Boogie and they try to divorce me, all they're going to get is a cup. You know what I mean? So when you hear them saying marriage only benefits men, what they really mean is once they divorce Boogie, all they will get is a cup. They won't be able to take my Toyota Camry. You know what I mean? So don't believe what they're saying that marriage only benefits men. What they should really say, It's not even true. It doesn't even really benefit average men. But what they are trying to say is marriage benefits average men because they feel like when they get married to an average man who can't pay 100% of all their bills, who can't make them just stay home and they don't have to work, they believe the man is, you know, for some reason benefiting more because they have to stay and cook for him and shit like that. Crazy work.
Men, them men over in the chat, they don't have no money to pay
See?
in family court.
Average men. See?
They ain't got no money.
See?
Average men don't have no money.
There you go. What did I just say? And I'm watching this video in real time. Her last words were, average men don't have no money. So for them, they believe marriage benefits men more if they're not married to a rich guy. The only time they think marriage benefits them if they find a rich guy. So